Thanks so much, Michael, for coming. It's really great. We have built this panel around your arrival, so that's fabulous that it all worked out. And I was wondering if you could tell me what your passion is in FinTech and what's drawn you and what sort of investments do you like?
Yeah, sure. I think, so first of all, as an early stage investor, I'm passionate about teams, just great teams that I think can build companies. At Canaan, we invest seed through Series C, so that's $2 to $25 million first checks, really across all of technology and healthcare, although FinTech is one of our biggest verticals. I tend to personally invest in a lot of B2B businesses. I think there are a lot of really interesting consumer-facing businesses, but my focus as of late has been on the B2B side.
And could you tell me what your synopsis overview is, because I'm fascinated by this question of the differences in the investment scene in New York and here compared to here?
So the first thing I think as an investor is East Coast investors do diligence and West Coast investors don't do diligence. And partially joking. I think the talent is really what sticks out to me. I think on the East Coast you have a lot of folks that come out of big banks, right? So you have people who have capital market experience, you have worked within big FIs who have experience with regulators and so on and so forth. Whereas on the West Coast it really tends to skew towards really, really good technologists, right? And so we always say there's fin on the East Coast and tech on the West Coast, and if you can fuse those together, that usually makes for a pretty good team.
Thank you. I also like to ask investors if they've got an interesting, funny, weird story about being an investor, and we have heard some interesting ones. Do you have one tonight?
Yeah, so the one that sticks out is I had an individual call me on my desk phone and send in a physical package to arrive at a certain time, all at the same time, coordinated in my office. It was both terrifying, a little bit scary, but I also absolutely took the meeting. It was somebody who was clearly quite dedicated to get their story across.
And did you end up investing in them?
We did not, unfortunately, but A for effort.
Exactly, and enthusiasm.
Correct.
Thank you so much for coming tonight, and I'm really looking forward to the panel. I'm sure it's going to be fabulous.
Yep, me as well. Thank you for having me.